Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we have got the top 10 players in the NFL ranked by yours truly. And because of that, you know it's going to be right. You know that it's going to be exactly perfect, and nobody is going to disagree with it. And if they do, they're wrong. So remember that. We have the top 10 players out of the NFL Top 100, which is decided by NFL players themselves. That will actually be revealed what they voted on Sunday, so in a couple of days from now. But right now, I'm going to give you my ranking of the top 10 players in the NFL, going based off of this list and ranking these 10. So let's hop into it. Number 1 is Aaron Rodgers. If you know me, you wouldn't have any doubts. There was some thought of another player here, but Aaron Rodgers just had one of the greatest seasons by a quarterback ever. And there's kind of two reasons that he is number 1. First one is because how historically great the season he just had is. He put up numbers that nobody has ever seen before. He had a 9.6 touchdown to interception ratio, which has never been done before with as many touchdowns, that he had. It is just insane. He also had a passer rating over 120, which is the second time in his career that he's done that. He played insane, one of the greatest seasons by a quarterback ever. The second part of it is he was the best quarterback in the league right now, and he still is, and he's going to be, I think. We'll see, though. He's the best quarterback. Quarterback's the best position, most important position. Aaron Rodgers is number 1 on the list. Number 2, I thought about putting him number 1, but I just couldn't because of those reasons. Aaron Donald is number 2. He has just been so good for so long, literally his entire career. He has racked up so many accolades, winning Defensive Player of the Year, and I'm pretty sure he had Defensive Rookie of the Year, All Pros and Pro Bowls, and literally everything. I wouldn't be surprised at this point if he won an MVP one day. Aaron Donald is probably the most impactful player there is, so he is number 2 on the list. On to number 3, we go back to the quarterback position, and it is Patrick Mahomes, kind of the runner-up in the MVP conversation last year, even though it was a pretty big gap. He is still really good. There's not really much else he has to do to prove himself. It's now just how long can he keep it up for. I can't wait to see what he does, because I'm expecting big things. I know a lot of people are expecting big things out of him and the Chiefs, so we'll have to see. But for right now, he's the future of the league. He's the future of the NFL, and we'll check in 10 years and see, how many Super Bowls, how many MVPs, how many All-Pros he has, because I expect that it's going to be a lot. On to number 4. This is probably the most interesting spot on the list because I had made the entire list. I'd gone through and ranked them, and at the last minute, I switched 2 of them, and Derrick Henry is a guy that moved up into number 4. So he rushed for 2,000 yards. That doesn't get done very often. I think this was the 8th time that it's been done in NFL history, and he also had a ton of touchdowns. He runs that Tennessee offense. Without him, that offense just doesn't work because they run the ball and they do play-action pass, and the play-action does not work if they can't run the ball. He is that offense, and it was one of the best offenses in the league this past year. He's been doing this kind of thing, just running the ball really, really well his entire career. I expect it to continue and maybe back-to-back 2K rushing yard seasons. It is not out of the question, especially with an extra game in the 2021 season. So Derrick Henry at the number 4. And he switched places at the last minute with Davante Adams, who I originally had at the 4, but put him back into the 5 because of how good Derrick Henry is, and just he is like the centerpiece of that offense. Davante isn't exactly the centerpiece of his offense. It's kind of hard to do that as a wide receiver. The main piece, obviously, in Green Bay is Aaron Rodgers, but he's got a lot of weapons that he uses, and Davante's probably his favorite one. The season he had, I've said this many times, I'll say it again, one of the greatest seasons by a wide receiver ever. It was like 1,300 yards and 18 touchdowns. That is insane, especially when you consider the fact that he didn't play in about 2.5 games. So if you do the math, if he played every single part of every game, he would have had over 1,600 yards and 21 touchdowns, which I think without a doubt would be the greatest season by a wide receiver ever. 2021, it goes for everybody. There's an extra game. Records might be broken. This is a guy to watch. He's the best receiver in the league. He's proven himself. Now it's time for him to stay on top. On to number 6. We've got another player, 3 players back to back to back. The best running back in the league, the best wide receiver in the league, and now the best tight end in the league with Travis Kelce, who just broke the single season receiving yards for a tight end record. He had, got it over here, over 1,400 yards for the first time for a tight end. He is insane. And we've known this, and he's been so good for so long. The season he just had was so special that he really is the 6th best player in the NFL. He definitely has a chance, and I think Kittle and Waller, all 3 of them, have a chance to get over 1,400 yards, especially with the 17th game, as I've said. So another guy to keep an eye on with records is Travis Kelce, or Kelce. I don't know what we're doing there with the pronunciation, but Travis Kelce, definitely number 6. No doubt in my mind. That brings us to number 7, Tom Brady, the 3rd best quarterback in the league. I think this is one of the spots on this list that people are going to disagree about. I think a lot of people are going to say Brady should be higher, and maybe that's what you think, but think about it just a little bit. This is where he belongs. He is the 7th best player in the league. He is amazing. He is really good. He is the 3rd best quarterback, and he's behind 2 guys that are playing out of their mind. Brady has done it for so long, and I think there were mixed expectations coming into this past season, being on a new team with a new offense, stacked roster, and completely different play style. He thrived in it. He had an amazing season, won the Super Bowl, which of course is a team accomplishment, but it does help you out. I will say, though, he didn't exactly play amazing in the playoffs, but it does help him. I think that's what a lot of people will point to try to rank him higher than this. But this is where he belongs, 7th best player, and it's no insult to him. It's a compliment because there are a bajillion players behind him. 7th best is not a bad place to be, especially when you just won the Super Bowl. On to number 8, we've got another defensive player in TJ Watt, the guy I wanted to win Defensive Player of the Year because he had all the stats. He had everything, and they were pretty much all better than Aaron Donald. However, the big difference is the impact that the players provide. I said Donald's the most impactful player in the league. I think that's true. TJ Watt, he's definitely impactful, but he is not the most impactful player in the league. So he goes in the 8th spot. Again, a really, really good player, and I'd love to see him have a similar season again in 2021. On to number 9, we've got another receiver. It is DeAndre Hopkins, guy I have said for quite a while now. He is probably the 2nd best receiver in the league. He is really, really good. We saw it this season again, and we've seen it for a long time. And I think as he continues to just be one of the best, he's going to be climbing these kinds of lists, and there's not much else to say. Every single player on this list is really, really good, and you kind of run out of things to say about them because they've all been said before. DeAndre Hopkins, 2nd best receiver in the league, at the 9th spot. That brings us to the last player, Josh Allen. I put him at number 10 because I think that's where he belongs. I don't think he's really ahead of any player on this list. You compare him to the other quarterbacks, I think he's definitely behind. Even though he was ahead of Brady when it came to the MVP race, Allen did get votes, Brady did not. I think the playoff success helps Brady there. And the big thing is their history, their past seasons. Brady has obviously done it for a really long time. Allen, he's really just had this one season, which while it was amazing, he's only done it once. The 2 seasons before that, which just kind of building up to it. Now we've got to see if he can do it again or do even better. And that will solidify his spot as really one of the top 10 players in the league. So that is all 10 players. That's where I ranked him where I did. So we'll run through it one more time, starting at the 1 with Aaron Rodgers, followed by Donald, then Mahomes. After that, it's Henry, Adams, and Kelce. 3 players who are the best at their position in the league. After that, we've got Brady, TJ Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, and Josh Allen rounding out the top 10 players in the NFL. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm sure there's good conversations to be had. But it's time for a little announcement. First of all, I appreciate everybody who's watched to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. And for those of you that did, a little announcement here. I think I've said it, but I want to say it kind of officially here. I will be doing NFL predictions once again this NFL season. I did them last season. I had a lot of fun doing that, and I think a lot of the viewers liked it. So I will be doing those again every single week. I will be predicting every single NFL game, as well as kind of like recapping the past ones. I'm sure you've seen it before. I'm going to be doing that, and it'll be great for conversation, and it'll be a lot of fun. So I hope you tune into those. Those are coming real soon, with the first game happening in less than 2 weeks now. But with that said, that is the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe as always, and I'll see you next time.